Well, first of all, let me say I'm really sorry that I'm not there in the room with you. I think it would be a great amount of fun, and I'm sorry to miss it, but I probably am about 400 miles away, so I hope you're having a really good time. And secondly, of course, let me thank the Planning and Conservation League and the PCL Foundation for this wonderful honor. To be given the award of Legislator of the Year is a very, very important thing. There aren't very many of the 120 of us that received it, and it means a great deal to me. In being told that I would receive this award and asked to make a few comments, and don't worry, it's only a couple of minutes, I was asked why the environment has meant so much to me and why I've spent so much of my legislative career working to make certain that the protections are maintained and people like PCL who work to protect the environment get a voice and a place at the table. And I have to say it wasn't always that way with me. Although I was always an environmentalist in my heart, I actually didn't really know it. I was a feminist attorney before I ran for office, but I always believed really, I think, two things, and might have come out of feminism or might have predated it. One of them was that every living thing on the earth was important. Might have been because I was the president of my junior high school science fiction club, and there are a lot of entities in science fiction that are not human that really need to be treated equally. But I had always thought about living things and their relationships to each other. And really in feminism, my work was all anti-violence work. And it led me to think a lot about violence that is being done to the earth and its effect on not only the human race, but the rest of the living creatures on the earth. So when I was elected to the Senate, and John Burton said, well, you're going to chair everything Tom Hayden chaired, and so I became the chair of the Natural Resources and then the Natural Resources and Water Committee. Really, the environment then became my responsibility to some extent and my bailiwick. And I'm very grateful for that because I learned so much. I learned so much from organizations like PCL and others who were devoting all of their time and all of their lives to making sure that these protections go forward. So the environment became very, very important to me. And of course, a responsibility because my committee then got to bring a lot of the bills in the California legislature that protected the environment. And it went together with work that I had done all my life. It felt like one long continuum. And then when I started working so much on healthcare issues, there was also an enormous relationship there. Clean air, clean water, what could be more related to human health? And when PCL brought, I'm looking down at my notes just as I would be if I were standing there at your podium, when PCL brought SB 1165 to me and asked me to carry it to make certain that in the CEQA process, people actually get a voice, the real people, not just a few people. It went along with a lot of things that I had been privileged to do before. Not only legislation about water, which of course was very, very important, but other bills that I had brought throughout my 14-year career to protect the integrity of CEQA. You know, a bill that we had done together, really, to make certain that where agencies are going to use some alternative to CEQA, that it needed to measure up and couldn't just be a shortcut of not doing it. Or a bill to mitigate for the loss of oak woodlands in CEQA. But of course, I really can't say that I ever did any of it by myself. I had a fantastic staff. I had all of you working with me. I had so many other legislators, you know, beginning with Byron Scher, who taught me about these issues, who took the lead on so many of the larger issues, and who have been devoted all their lives to protecting the environment. And we're lucky to have a number of new legislators this year who are also devoted to these same issues. I want to say that I feel very optimistic about the future. It's not a really good time to say that, I guess, but the word hope seems to be on everybody's lips, and it certainly has been on mine. So I want you to remember that too. I want you to hold on to that feeling that we all had on January 20th about hope and about the fact that even in these difficult economic times, there is a way to move forward. and the way PCL is concentrating on green jobs as a way, for instance, to make certain that the economy continues to grow and that people have an opportunity to have jobs and feed their families and do good for the state of California at the same time. And also to maintain the protections of the environment that we all have worked so hard for, and not to let any of them go, not as a bargaining chip in the budget, not ever. So I thank you again for this wonderful award. I hope you have a wonderful celebration, and I look forward, even though I'm not in office, to continuing to work with you on all of these issues, especially protecting our wonderful California environment. Thank you.